Hello, I'm Captain Vile. Now, May's bets have been beat the Spectre of Torment climbing challenge or do something risque by Roger Dodger 1021. I won that bet, so I do not have to do that. This was the only bet I finished in May. I received several other bets, and I did several other bets. But I would say finished, actually. It's the only bet that I finished editing. I've got several raw footage of doing bets that I have to... Editing doesn't really take that long. It's just I've been preoccupied with finals. So, I don't have time to do the end segment. That little, changing the number is surprisingly more... I mean, I'm doing it in an efficient way, but it's the way I'm doing it is tedious. I gotta fix it. But I've kept putting off making it a more efficient way of changing the number because I didn't think I'd be doing it for this goddamn long, but I'm almost been doing this a year. In fact, I think next month will be a year. So isn't that dandy? Anyway, that means I get to take 1 point of interest off. So... looking through them now, seeing which one I want to get rid of. There's some pretty good ones. I think I'll get rid of when Bruce looks out of the window of his cell. He's in Skyrim. Free interest by Solid John Solid. Sorry. Which also brings me to free interest. Been a month, haven't played it. Anyone can give me free interest on the Gotham episode I've checked out without having to win a bet. Just whatever you say I gotta do. Excuse me, within reason. But the bets that I have to do in the Gotham episode, or the interest on the episode that is still intact, is Penguin and Riddler Make Out by Roger Dodger 1021, which is a bet I lost. Hum all the music in the episode instead of recording it and adding it later by Hot_Rodney_McHeath, or just Heath. I keep, again, getting mixed up with the fictional character. It's just Heath, which is a bet I lost. Whenever the Court of Owls is mentioned, it cuts to a painting or statue of an owl while Lisa's face is responsible for me. Snippet of I Feel Pretty from West Side Story plays. It cuts back to the characters talking, they can either react or be oblivious. By Max X Freak, which is a bet I won, but I lost a double down. Same goes for the Penguin and Riddler Making Out. I won but lost double down. Figure I'd mention that here since I forgot. Anyway. When Bruce is replaced by Doppelganger, Copy puts on a paper mask, and Captain Vile and everyone acts like he's changed his face by Jamie Jackoff, which I bet I lost. During the conversation, Isabella is meant to be an audience member, tries to walk out in the middle of the episode, and are told to spec down by the audience by Simon the Slain, which is a bet I lost. When Gordon is hunting with his uncle, he does a 360 no-scope on a deer by Fish Lips, Free, which is a bet I lost. When Penguin sings to Riddler, It's Hello My Baby Frog song by Max Brown-P1V, which is a bet I lost. At some point, you decide where the channel changes to some random scene from Seinfeld, again you decide where. Or change it back to Gotham by Solid John Solid, which is free interest. When Harvey gets a phone call from before Riddler captures him, his ringtone is Nyan Cat from Solid John Solid, which is free interest. When Bruce fights the gang, it's framed like Street Fighter, which is Solid John Solid, which is free interest. At some point, an Undertale or Deltarune song plays by Solid John Solid, which is free interest. Riddler has a question mark cane by Solid John Solid, which is free interest. Fredbear saves the day at the last second by Eric Watterson119, which is a bet I lost. Whenever a new character shows up, they have a species pop-up name by Solid John Solid, which is free interest. Thomas Martha Wayne show up by John Ullman, like really Ullman, which is a bet I lost. When new characters show up, they have name, fast fashion pop-ups with misinformation by Honeybun, which is a bet I lost. There's an animation where Let's Go to the Lobby plays by Solid John Solid, which is free interest. I have to sing a song before any party starts by John Ullman, like really Ullman, which is a bet I lost. Jim shoots Fredbear while hunting by Solid John Solid, free interest. I have to come up with the riddles myself. A Honeybun, which is a bet I lost. And that is all of them. That's all the interest thus far. So, I got any thoughts on it being like a year? Let's see, hang on. Let me playlists. video's over for updates. This is just if I feel like talking. If it is actually a year into it, which I do believe it is. I just want to make sure it actually is before I go on about this crap. 11 months.
Happy birthday.
There's the first video. That's what that noise was. June 18th. June 18th is when I've been doing this for a year. Next month. I do have something I gotta prepare on top of goddamn finals, but I mean, all my finals are turned in. Like, actually, I think June was the Friday? No, that's a Monday. I think my finals gotta be turned in the 22nd. I mean, most of them are due like next week, but like whatever. So damn. Informal video, I'm aware, but you know, you can only keep the act up for so goddamn long. It's difficult to describe. There's a bemusement to this situation, which is it's like if when you're doing a bit, the bit itself may not be funny, but if there's so much effort put into the bit, that effort goes into being funny. It's not funny. It's not as funny to see like a custard cream pie go in someone's face. That's a decent gag, but it's just like a neat chuckle. But if you have like meticulously mapped out someone's schedule and you build like a Rube Goldberg machine that flings the pie in their face at the perfect time, like there's money and planning gone into this specific like pie in the face gag, that's the joke, is how ridiculous it is. Is kind of how this bet I kind of see him as. I guess a better example would actually not be the effort put in, but the time going into it. Which is, there's a Simpsons quote where one of the best jokes you can do is an alright joke that's been stretched so long it's no longer funny, and you keep stretching it until it becomes funny again. So it's just kind of that, like, wow, we've been doing this for a year. I'm still getting bets. People are still giving me bets and giving me, like, free interest at the end of each month. I try and be annoyed with it, but it really is just funny. I tell you what isn't funny, getting my goddamn hands on Minecraft Story Mode. That's not from lack of trying. I've been looking into it. I cannot find a goddamn copy of the game. I really gotta get the goddamn coffee. Oh my god. But even then, like, we're in the middle. Well, I hope to God we're at the end of Dark Souls 2. We're at the end of one DLC. We've got 2 DLCs left, and then we fight the final boss. So, I don't like it, but I think we've got maybe another month and a half of Dark Souls 2. That half is pushing it, but we've definitely got a month. Which is meaning there's an opening in the time slot. But also, like, the time slot opens to The Forest, which is a survival horror game. A sandbox survival horror game. Which is gonna be like 60 episodes. Which is what Dark Souls 2 is. Like, that's been going on for a few months. This is gonna be like a 4-month series, The Forest. Like, it's gonna be long. I'm not gonna do hour-long episodes. I'm just gonna do like 20-minute episodes. But God, it's gonna be so long. And Kingdom Hearts 2 is a Kingdom Hearts game. So we're not gonna be on that for a while either. So even if I actually got my goddamn hands on a game, I'd have to wait until we finish either Kingdom Hearts 2 or The Forest before I could play it. Which, who knows how long that would be. Probably 3 more months, which is more bets, more interest. So, I could have the key right now, but the lock I would not have access to the lock to turn it. Despite having it, it's Kafkaesque. And I've done it to myself. Which is even more Kafkaesque. It's reminiscent of the Poseidon story. No, only this paperwork is fit for a god, not one of his servants, despite the fact I want to go explore my kingdom. Oh well. Thank you for watching, and good while.